39 days left to save the country from the mad left. That's how many days you have left, and these are the types of people that we need to fight. The bloke who doesn't understand the unemployment rate, the bloke who thinks he's going to share power. KK, is she going to be on the borders or buggering up the budget? Penny Wong, or of course, old loopy Lydia Thorpe. Of course, as you know, Anthony Albanese said yesterday that he couldn't remember what the national unemployment rate was. I know I'm not breaking news by showing this to you again, but just reminding you, this isn't the leader of the Labor Party. This isn't the opposition leader. This is the alternative Prime Minister.
It's up to people to ask whatever questions they want. Andrew.
What's the national unemployment rate?
National unemployment rate at the moment is, I think it's 5.4. Sorry. I'm not sure what it is.
Now, of course, he's previously said that he wants to be John Howard, he wants to be Bob Hawke, he wants to be Anastasia Palaszczuk, and then today he said he wanted to be like Taylor Swift and shake it off. Well, good luck with that. But you showed your hand and the Prime Minister pounced.
Sure, he didn't know the number, but he didn't miss it by that much. He missed it by that much. And what matters about that is he thought unemployment had a 5 in front of it. Not even a 4 in front of it. And it's going to a number with a 3 in front of it. And what that tells me is he's working assumptions about our economy and what Australians are achieving in our economy he doesn't know.
Middle stump on day 2. And to drive home the advantage that the economic record of this government has, to remind you about the choice, to remind you that we have just 39 days left to save the country from the mad left who have no idea how to run the country and no care for your money. Your job in their society is to pay your taxes and shut up. Well, the Prime Minister today said if you re-elect him, another 1.3 million people join the already record 13 million people who have a job in Australia.
It's the biggest economic opportunity since the post-war era, and we're well positioned to take advantage of that with our economic plan. And that's why today we can commit to a 1.3 million jobs target pledge over the next 5 years.
Now, tonight I've got a stack of stuff that sinks Albo just as badly as his gaff, but the media didn't want to talk about it today. We will. It's why you've got to be here in the front row, 8 o'clock Eastern, each and every night for this fight. We're not pretending to sit back and be passive-aggressive in the middle. We are up for the fight. There's a good choice, a bad choice, the right way, the wrong way. We'll get to all of that tonight. But well done to the Herald Sun, because they were able to work out that if you actually put together the existing very small agenda of Anthony Albanese, it will count up as more than $300 billion worth of promises to be paid out by you over the next 3 years. Now, they claim they're not going to raise taxes, and they know that they're not going to cut spending, which means deficits grow. The economy goes backwards. $300 billion, which is ironically about as much as they wanted to tax us under Bill Shorten. So you get all the spending of Shorten with none of the revenue gains of Shorten. Meantime, another matter that this bloke is not up to it on the economy, and it's not the knowledge of the cash rate, despite the fact that the bloke who owns 5 different houses you think would be across interest rates. Instead, no, it's this one. For a long time, Anthony Albanese has been trying to pretend that the Australian economy is full of people working casual jobs because there's no full-time jobs to get.
So what we're seeing around Australia is a massive rise in insecure work. There's more and more people having to work 2, 3, 4 jobs in order to get by.
But even worse than the clangor of not knowing the unemployment rate, he's not telling the truth. He is flat out lying. Analysis done by the Australian Financial Review today shows that this claim of increased numbers of people working casual jobs in Australia is just not true. They got a university academic to make that point, and he did so with Kieran Gilbert this afternoon.
You say that it is wrong.
That's right. We have seen about a 1.5 to 2 percentage point drop in that casual share.
So they don't know about the unemployment numbers, and they don't know about the employment reality. No wonder Josh Frydenberg looks better by the day as the Treasurer for the next 3 years.
And yesterday, Australians were reminded by Anthony Albanese of why He's out of his depth. On budget night, I said very clearly the unemployment rate was its equal lowest in 48 years at 4%. He simply was not listening, or maybe he didn't want to know.
But there's a lot more you need to know about that happened today. But again, you didn't see it on the 6 p.m. news. Geez, I wonder why. We all know that Anthony Albanese thinks that he can be Aussie Joe, not Aussie Joe Bugner, but Aussie Joe Biden. BS and slide his way into the prime ministership, hoping that you are completely convinced that he's not woke and that he's the man in the middle. The reality, of course, is that he will be the most left-wing leader the country has ever had, even wilder than Whitlam way back when. A perfect example of that was a story that's been brewing for the past couple of days. The Prime Minister has entered the culture wars. He agrees with the Liberal candidate for Warringah, Catherine Deves, so you see there on screen, that trans people should have a tougher time of being able to just automatically walk in to compete in women's sport. Put simply, if you have the meat and two veg, you don't qualify as somebody who can compete against biological women at a swimming carnival. The Prime Minister also said this about how the education system has become too lefty. Hallelujah.
Now, I know why the Labor Party wouldn't want to see him come back. I don't believe they support these same strong positions that Alan has taken on our curriculum, making sure that our kids are taught the right things about Australia in our schools and that our education curricula is not sold out to that left-wing agenda.
Remember, the mad left, 39 days to pause their revolution, to delay it for another 3 years. It'll get them wilder, but you have the power to do it. So why do I say he's trying to do the Joe Biden? Because watch when Albo was asked about this today, how he doesn't engage with it at all. What is his plan for the education of your kids?
Of course, education's important, and the basics of education are important. Teaching people the fullness of our history, teaching people to read and write and mathematics, all of that are important. But this Prime Minister is always looking for the division. My role, I see, as someone who's campaigning to be in a national leadership role, is to unite the country, not look for divisions.
Nothing. Blather. No answer. No view about whether our schools are too left. Do you think that bloke is going to do anything but wave all of the radical changes through that Penny Wong and the Mean Girls want to take place in our country? That the Greens will demand in a power-sharing government, or one where it's their say about what passes and fails in the Senate? You know the truth.